Welcome to Pokemon Masterclass. I'm your host, Gym Leader Justin. I'm here with my co-host, Zero. Say what's going on, buddy.
Hey, we are actually in the same room recording. I feel like this is the first time we've done this since, the summer.
It's been a hot minute, man. It's been a hot minute, all these lockdowns.
Yep, so we're back to munching on food and drinking drinks in the microphone. Just like when we first started this channel.
There we go. Going back to our roots. So what do we got going on today, buddy?
Today, we're going to be playing a water gym deck. This one crafted specially by you, tweaked a little bit by me, but mostly tweaked together. The big feature here is Blastoise. The deck is actually pretty simple. You want to go through the mons first?
Yeah, so like you said, it's pretty straightforward. It is for expanded format. And we're just playing around, again, trying to get the feel for the next level, trying to play through all of our colors. And like he said, this is basically our blue or our water gym. We do have a mixture here. We do have an ice type. So that's pretty cool. But basically, it's 3 Blastoise V, 1 VMAX, 2 Crabominable V, 2 of the brand new Kingler V, and 2 of the Kingler VMAX, 3 Mudkip, 2 Marshtomp, 2 Swamperts, and a Fion. So basically going through here, Blastoise is just a really good all-around beater. For only 1 energy, he can deal 30 damage, which doesn't sound like a lot, but we'll get to that in a minute, why 30 is actually a big deal.
Yeah.
And then for 3 energy, Torrential Cannon, 200, and he can't use it next turn. So between the 30 once and then the 200, when you're building it up, if you lead with him, Blastoise is really legit and can knock out most Vs in the game by himself.
Yep. Outside of the cursed Blissey.
Outside. Yeah, and then we're running, so again, 3-1, we're running 1 VMAX. This dude's actually really, really cool. Obviously, it's the Gigantamax, so just dope artwork, right?
Yep.
All water energy. Search your deck for up to 3 blue energy cards and attach them to your bench pokes in any way you like.
Sick.
And it does 120 damage, so just S+ all the way around. It gives you everything you need. And then G-Max Bombard, which is basically Cannonade, 220, and then it also does 30 to 2 of their bench. So just insane. It's so good.
I'm kind of curious why they didn't take the G-Max names. Why don't you just rip the G-Max names right from the game?
Exactly.
You're owned by the same company.
The reason that the Blastoise only doing 30 here actually matters is because 30 times 60 is 180.
Yes.
And 3 times 60, so 3 damage counters.
I was gonna say
three damage counters.
I was gonna say that you could consider us scholarly gentlemen, and
then
we messed that up.
And so obviously it does 60 more right here. So Destroyer Punch, 90 damage base, and then 60 more damage for each damage counter, and a damage counter equals 10. So you do 30 damage there. They got 3 damage counters on them, so that's 180 damage plus 90 just from that combo alone of him only chipping to 30 damage. Or again, if this dude does 30 damage to somebody on the bench. So that's why that 30 is significant, because now it makes this dude swing for, what would that be, 270?
Yeah, so you're knocking out pretty much every tag team card.
Yeah, you're knocking out 75% of all the relevant cards in the game that give 2 or even 3 prize cards. So it's and it just goes up from there. It's truly insane. I've done 800 damage with this dude before.
I think that was against me.
Yeah. So it's really, really, really strong. And then obviously it's also good, being able to trigger Avalanche and discard the top 2 of their opponent's deck. Yes, there are discard engines, but a lot of time you do get some of those juicy picks out of there. So it is good for early game too. Kingler V. So this is brand new out of the Brilliant Stars.
Brilliant Stars, yeah.
So yeah, we're running the G-Max. Got the big foam here. Basically, this is one of those scenarios where the V and the VMAX are just he's just a little brother of the bigger one. They're just copy paste. He just grows up. So Falling Bubbles, you flip a coin, and if it's heads, it works. And then Bubbles Galore, it just works. And both of the effects, again, if it goes off for this one and it automatically goes off for this one, search your deck for up to 5 blue energy and put them anywhere we like. And shuffle our deck. Yeah, it's so crazy.
You can put him on the active and put him on the bench. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. And he's really, really cheap. He's actually kind of the secondary damage because he only does 240. and then he deals damage to himself too. But he is cheaper than the Blastoise.
It's a good place to be when you are doing 240 and you're the secondary damage.
Correct. It's a really good spot. And again, dealing 230 to ourselves isn't bad for this either.
No.
And we could flip a coin and get heads and still search. Like, it's still there. And then the rest of the deck is basically just the Mudkip Swampert line. Kind of filling out some. We don't have all double and triple prize cards, right?
Yeah.
Search for 3 water energies, put them in our hand. Really good, actually, for for a Mudkip. This dude spreads some damage both to the active and on the bench, again, which helps out for Crabominable. And then the Swampert's really legit.
Yeah, super awesome Swampert here. Once during your turn, you may attach a water blue energy or a fighting brown energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon. So that's what he's really kind of there for, but he also does hit for 180 damage. So
And he's only a single prize.
Exactly. So this Swampert is actually really good. Really good.
It's really legit. Like, for instance, like there are some Vs that he can knock out by himself.
Yeah, I don't like that he's weak to electric. That does not please me.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
And 170 is not a bad HP. Like, again, there are some Vs that are at 170.
You know what set this is from? I don't know what set.
It's down here in the bottom corner. I don't remember. Which
That's
one
Fusion Strike.
Fusion Strike.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is the brand new
See,
one.
I don't have that one. That's why I
Gotcha.
didn't know what set it was from.
And then obviously we don't leave home without Fion. This is basically if she's on your bench, it's a built-in Lysander. They get to choose, and then it goes back to your deck. So we just get to keep searching for this.
Yes.
So good. Fion is like with the Manaphy and the Fion, the new Manaphy now in Brilliant Stars.
Yeah.
To prevent bench damage, this shuts down like this deck. So many of our decks.
Yes.
But that Fion's insane. So then basically the rest of the deck, kind of showing off some of the full arts that we're starting to collect here with supporters. I really like full art supporters.
Yeah. They're the ultimate flex in this game.
Yeah, if I got them, I put them in here.
Yeah.
So basically we'll go through here. We've got 1 bucket, 2 dive balls, 2 Evo sodas, 1 rod, 1 communication, 2 switch, 1 Brooklet Hill, and then 1 of the waves.
Yeah.
So capacious bucket, pretty standard for any water decks, right?
We're only running 1 because we want these water energies in the deck.
Yeah, because we're running so much search from the 2 main feature pokes.
Everything pulls from the deck. Like even
Correct.
We have
Swampert will be from the hand, but everything else is from the deck.
Yes.
And then double dive ball because they're just insane because there's no limit.
Yep.
Dive ball's actually really overpowered for what it is.
Yes.
Evo Soda is my personal. You could run the Essence, Evolution Essence. It's basically the same thing. Yep. This one just straight up evolves. I like that because it'll instantly get rid of like statuses and stuff like that. Yeah. And plus it's just a little quicker. It's just a preference thing. But again, 2 Evo Sodas, the point is it does work like a regular evolution, so you can't do it like the turn.
Yeah.
The normal rules apply.
The biggest difference is you wouldn't activate an ability that plays off the hand, but we don't have any cards like that in the deck.
In this deck there's none, so it doesn't particularly matter. That's a perfect point. So because we have double max lines, and then we obviously have the Swampert line, the double Evo Soda is actually like super clutch. It's really, really good. Yep. Ordinary Rod, pretty self-explanatory. This is one of Brandon's favorites.
Yeah, we need that stuff we need those cards in the deck.
Because it says this right here. This word right here is why it's important, where it says or. Choose one or both.
Yep.
So Ordinary Rod is insane. We want them in the deck. Ordinary Rod puts them in the deck. Yes, you could go like energy retrieval, but again, that puts them in your hand.
Yep.
Communication, really solid.
Get rid of
especially when we have evolution there, 3 different lines of evolutions.
Get rid of a late game Mudkip for that Gmax Kingler or whatever.
Correct. Double switch, PMC standard. We never leave home without double switch. That's just kind of what we do.
Yep.
So useful. Brooklet Hill, one of the best cards in the entire game. So basically, once during your turn, you could also, because it comes for like Swampert, so it's water or ground essentially, it makes it good for fighting decks also. But once during each player's turn, that player may search for a basic blue or brown poke, put them on your bench, shuffle your deck. So good, especially when paired with Fion.
Yeah.
And then the Rough Seas, just really, really strong. You can heal. Yes, it heals electric too. But again, if we're up against electric, we're already kind of at a disadvantage anyways. So I'm not really worried about them healing.
That's true.
So it's just for us to be able to get the healing, basically, which is just strong as an option. And again, we're testing it out, and we do like having the option to have both. Then the rest of it, it's pretty self-explanatory, but we're going to go into the supporters. We've got Cynthia, Guzma, 2 Hops, Lysander, and then double Melanie, a single Nessa, double Pokemon Kid, Nurse Joy, Skyla, Tate and Liza.
Yep, the Tate and Liza is pretty nice, just in case we need another switch.
Absolutely, it's so clutch. So obviously this one, shuffle your hand, draw 6, and stops for bricking. Switch your opponent's bench with one of their actives. If you do, then you can switch your own active on your bench. So it's really, really good.
It's one of the strongest cards ever made.
We've won so many games off of this. Double hop, draw 3, just really good power. He just, self-explanatory. Lysander, again, bounce out one of theirs. So it's really good to get that key piece out of there if you don't need to.
Potentially the strongest card ever made.
Oh yeah, definitely. Boss's Order, same kind of thing.
Yep.
Melanie, she's so good. We're running 2 in the deck right now. Attach a water energy from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon Vs and then draw 3 cards. So just
hop on steroids, honestly.
It's literally everything you need. It's so good. It's so good. We're running 1 Nessa. Any combination of 4 water pokes or 4 water energies from your discard pile to your hand. So good because we're running only 1 Blastoise VMAX, for instance, so we can get that back with Nessa. Obviously no rescue stretcher, so that's our way to get him out. Stuff like that. Really, really good. And then Double Kid, self-explanatory again, just be able to search anything we need. The Eevee Kid's adorable. She's great. This is actually my sort of pick, but it actually works really well in this deck, especially when we get Blastoise because he's so thick boy.
Yeah, plus the seas, the rough seas.
The rough seas will help too, so that's 90 healing and special conditions. I actually like Nurse Joy so much because of the special condition healing. I've actually talked to Brandon off camera. I really appreciate that portion a lot.
Yeah.
Skyla.
Yep.
Brandon's main girl.
Yep, this one is kind of a standard in a lot of my decks. I like to just, maybe
I almost never leave home without
grab a ball, grab a stadium.
Yep.
It's really strong.
Yes, grabbing stadiums is great. Grabbing a switch.
Grab Professor's Research for
Professor's
next turn.
Research.
Yeah.
Again, in this deck, you can grab things you'll set up. So, if you know, oh man, I could really use a Melanie now or an Evo Soda. Yeah. Evo Soda's great. Dive Ball's great for her in this deck. Switch is obviously my personal Skyla Switch is one of the things I do most often.
Yeah. I do that a lot too.
And then obviously Tate and Liza going those Hoenn reps.
Yep.
Let's go.
Yep. Full art Hoenn reps.
Yeah, baby. We got to rep it around on the channel. So obviously this one's really good because it gives that flexibility. Fans of the PMC know that we like that utility belt kind of play style. This is that to a T. So you can either shuffle your hand and draw 5, so like a mini Cynthia, or it's like a free switch card. So being able to have that option, so essentially we have 3 switch cards and 2 Cynthias is kind of how I look at it.
Yeah.
It's so good to have that and or option, isn't it?
Yep.
Pretty much rounding out the rest of the deck, there's not a whole lot much to say, except we are running 2 of the Wash energies. Prevent all effects of attacks from your opponent's Pokemon done to the Pokemon, to the water Pokemon this card is attached to. Existing effects are not removed. Damage is not an effect.
Yep, so we can't be poisoned and things like that. I wonder...
You can't be block-faced, we call it block-faced, obviously, but things that say next turn you can't attack, this goes around that.
So I'm curious, and if maybe you have the answer to this, as I don't know, if they have some sort of gusting move, I wonder if this prevents you from being gusted. Let us know in the comments if you know.
It's basically if the water energy has to be on it when the effect targets the water poke.
Yeah, like the Gallade from the Mental Might deck. I wonder if he can gust you out.
I don't think so
With this card attack.
Well, it's not abilities. It has to be an attack, so I don't think so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then the rest is 16 water energy. It's a little bit higher than the standard.
Yeah,
but it's because this deck relies on having a lot.
It does.
Again, this dude searches 3. Both of these search 5. She searches 4. This one can search up to 2. So we actually do need quite a bit to move things around.
Yeah, we need energy because we have a lot of accelerating engines, and the attack costs can be
expensive.
Quite expensive.
Yep. We got 4 here and then 3 basically across the board.
Yep.
That's basically it for the deck preview. We're about to switch over. Link down in the comments below to the battle session for this deck. We had a really, really good time on the ladder with this deck, and it was a lot of fun. We stomped some kids. We took them to school. So make sure you smash that big red button and subscribe.
Yeah, do it.
Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. If you're already subscribed, hit that bell. And until next time, I've been Gym Leader Justin.
I'm Zero.
Class is dismissed.